Good evening, dear listener, and welcome to a night unlike any other. A night when shadows seem to stretch a little longer than it should, and the veil between worlds grows thin. This Halloween, we invite you to linger with us for a hold a tale that crossed from one hand to another, written in ink and bound by wonder. Before we begin, make yourself comfortable. Perhaps pour a cup of hot chocolate, gather a blank page to doodle or scribble your thoughts, or wrap yourself in a blanket as the wind rattles the window panes. Let the night settle around you, and let your imagination wander with the letters of Valerie and Chrysanthemum, whose words will guide you through the dark, gentle hauntings, and a tale of a haunted fig tree, cats and bats, and two curious souls.
Dear Chris, I hope this letter finds you well. How's the support group going? I heard you've been hosting movie nights for the other vampires. I'm glad you are managing to get use out of that ancient projector, and I imagine nothing bonds the undead quite like a cozy movie night. It's been a little while since I last wrote, and I suppose I should tell you first that I've been feeling better. Not all the time, but more often than before. I've been keeping busy, gardening mostly. I'm happy to be welcoming new insects to the yard, and the mushrooms have gotten so strange and beautiful this season. You'll find new photos tucked in with this letter. Some of them almost look like tiny skulls, don't they? I think you'd like them. After this, I'll finish prepping the Halloween candy buckets for the neighborhood kids. The decorations have gotten wonderfully ambitious this year. One of my neighbors made all his decorations by hand, each one carved from wood. From the crooked jack-o'-lanterns to a life-sized witch mid-cackle. I do love this time of year though I must admit, the atmosphere has been getting under my skin a little more than usual. Ever since the beginning of fall, I've been hearing something at night, from the roof. A faint scratching, sometimes a fluttering, like paper brushing on wood, or the swishing of a witch's broom. It always happens at the same time, right before 3 a.m. And the first few nights I thought it was maybe the wind or the house settling, but lately it feels deliberate. Like something remembering the rhythm of my breathing, waiting until I'm half asleep before it begins again. I keep telling myself it's nothing. Still, I can't help but think the attic might be haunted. I'm not frightened, not really. But if anyone knows what to do about a ghost that knocks too politely, it's you. Any advice? Your friend, Valerie.
Dear Valerie, your letter arrived as I was attempting to arrange a new coffin in the sitting room. A slightly more comfortable one, as you suggested, though I remain undecided on its perfect placement. It proved stubborn, much like myself. And perhaps this is a hint that I should tidy the space more often. I am glad to hear that you are feeling better, even if only in waves. A wise approach, I must say. The heart rarely recovers in a straight line. The support group is going well. Thank you for asking. And yes, the movie nights continue to be entertaining, if occasionally frustrating. Your mushroom photographs, by the way, are delightful. Tiny little skulls indeed. I confess I find them charmingly sinister. Now, about your attic visitor. Scratching, fluttering, precise timing. Indeed. It does sound as though your house has taken a peculiar interest in you. Have you checked for mice, broken pipes, for your imagination? The ghosts I know favor dramatic entrances, yet some are subtle, patient, and persistent. Perhaps yours is one of the latter. I am amused, though not surprised, by your careful observation of the neighborhood's seasonal antics. Myself, I have been unfortunate receiving knocks mostly from pestering teenagers who are entirely undeserving of treats. But you inspired me to give it a proper attempt. I shall leave a note on my door. Only the most terrifying children will be rewarded, and perhaps, just perhaps, they may earn a chocolate. I remain unmoved. Do keep me informed if your attic proves particularly engaging. I am curious whether these ghosts favor riddles, polite conversation, or simply enjoys badgering in the manner of most children. With quiet regard, Chrysanthemum.
Dear Chris, I am pleased to report that the ghost has been unmasked. It turns out my attic was not haunted after all, merely a home to a family of very determined bats. Their timing to scare me with noises during my sleep remains impeccable. One of the babies fell from the nest, tucked into a corner among the beams. I couldn't just leave him there, so I've been taking care of him until he's strong enough to join the others. I call him Fig, partly because he has a knack for finding the tiniest crumbs of fruit and hoarding them in the most ridiculous places. Surprisingly, the mother bat seems to have grown accustomed to my presence, watching from above as I feed and care for him, though she does give me the occasional pointed glare. I imagine she's keeping me in line. Caring for Fig has been unexpectedly comforting. It seems I am not the only creature seeking company on chilly autumn nights. Perhaps I should start a proper vampire daycare. I dare say there is a market for it. Thank you for your advice and for always lending me a steady presence. It's reassuring to know that even when one believes a ghost is fluttering around, it may simply be a small, winged friend seeking the night. With affection, from me and a tiny bat who insists on company, Valerie.
Dear Valerie, I am delighted to hear that your attic visitor was not quite the ghost you imagined, but a family of bats has its own peculiar charm. Fig sounds remarkably spirited, and I am pleased that the mother bat has taken you into her confidence. Perhaps the attic has grown warmer in your presence. Your letter reminded me of a story I once came across while traveling many years ago. A tale a mother shared with her children around a campfire, meant for nights such as these. Perhaps it might offer entertainment for your own small winged friend. Allow me to share it with you both. The old fig tree stood at the edge of the town, a lonely sentinel amongst the tombstones, its twisted roots woven between the graveyard's rusted wrought iron fence. It had been there for a long time, they say, longer than most folk could remember, a looming presence at the end of the town's oldest road. But few ever dared to approach the tree, for whispered through the town was the solemn tale that the old fig tree was haunted by ghostly wails in the night, the cries of lonely souls from beyond the veil. The townsfolk, with heavy smiles, waved it off as bats, living amongst the tree's twisting branches. But every year a few people still swore they saw shadows dancing beneath on Halloween's night. And so it was that one year, as the clock struck 12 on Hallows Eve, when the town's heavy mist clung to the ground like a carpet of silver, Willow found herself aimlessly wandering among the tombstones, forward bound for the fig tree at the end of the town. But Willow was not afraid of the ghosts or the wails, nor did she fear the dancing shadows that frolicked beneath the fig tree's branches or scurried across its gnarled roots. For Willow knew in her heart that she was indeed already dead. a lost spectre amongst the stones. So it came as quite a shock to her when upon the fig tree's roots she stepped, she found a boy sitting there, watching the tree with great enrapture. "Who are you?" said she, "for it is cold tonight and I did not expect to find company." "Bram," said the boy, with a smile and tip of his hat. "I came to watch the bats eat from the fig tree. Come, sit a spell and we can enjoy their feasting together." And so, with great curiosity, Willow went and sat beside him and looked up at the tree, and true to Bram's word, saw bats feasting from the tree's fruit. "What brings you to this tree?" asked Bram, "for I too expected solitude." "Tell me your story and I will indulge you with mine." "I have no story to tell," lied Willow. "I am but a ghost, wandering aimlessly through this world. So cold I have grown into this lonesome place that I often forget what it means to be warm, nor do I any longer deserve to feel it." "A ghost? Now that is most peculiar," exclaimed he. "I suspect there is more to you as you have told me little, but for your part you have done yours, and so I will do mine and elucidate you. I came to this tree to see if the stories are true, to see if ghosts really do haunt this wicked place, if it be true, to see them through the foggy night and make their presence known within mine own mind, until my eyes grow weary and I can stay awake no more." "And do you believe these ghosts are real now?" said Willow. "Now that you and I have met?" "I am not sure," said he, with his small, simple smile. Then, with a flick of his finger and a shush of his lips, he bid her be quiet. "We must watch now in silence. Hark, for something approaches." And once more, true to his word, two figures emerged from the dark. A black cat was one, their golden eyes glinting, a small bat the other, with wings softly flitting. And to Willow's surprise, both creatures gave each other a bow and began to dance together in the light of the moon. A twirl of wings and the flash of a tail, across the tangled roots they whirled. Then, echoing through the bramble of branches, came a sound unlike any Willow had heard. A chorus of cries and a symphony of sighs. A choir of ghosts sang their haunting melody. And still the cat and the bat danced, a fleeting waltz in the midst, gracefully moving to the haunting cadence. "Who are they?" whispered Willow, her voice quiet so as to not disrupt the dance. "Some say they were once enemies, a witch's familiar and a cursed man, doomed to meet once a year. Others say they're simply two lonely creatures who keep each other company for one night before vanishing again into their separate darkness. Whatever their truth and whatever their pain, tonight we shall watch them, to share in whatever they dance may entertain and make it known." So the two of them sat and watched until their eyes grew weary and their heads grew heavy, and soon it became clear to them both that even things of the night still seek warmth and still long to be seen. And when the dawn came, the tree was quiet again, the bats asleep, and the ghosts, whoever they were, a little less lonely. And when Willow opened her eyes, she could feel the heat of the sun's gentle rays and the lush grass beneath her fingers. She stood and smiled to the tree and to the bats in its branches, and then to the tombstones she had talked to all night. And when she went home, she could feel a spring in her step, and air in her lungs, and the warmth of the sun on her face, and she felt more alive than she had in many years. The old fig tree still stands at the edge of the town, at the end of the road, its twisting roots wrapped tight around the graveyard's wrought iron fence. It had been there for a long time, and I suspect a long while yet. Some people say it is haunted, that in the night you can hear ghostly wails and the shifting of shadows across its trunk. But perhaps, if you ever see this tree linger amongst the tombstones and listen to the wind in its branches, there is music and stories in the wind, and who doesn't want to be heard?
And so, on this night when phantoms dance and letters make their way across the veil, we are reminded that even bats in the rafters have stories to tell and hearts to haunt. Happy Halloween.